Banks, lenders, credit card companies, they're not in the business of helping you build wealth. And here's what I know after almost 3 decades playing around in this finance space. The system only works against you while you remain unaware. I believe your biggest risk is never building the capacity to win. That's the framework I want you to carry with you. Don't fail because they choose the wrong strategy. They fail because they don't stick to any strategy long enough. Show up consistently, because wealth isn't built by insight, it's built by habit. Here's the first truth that most people never really wake up to. You're not the customer of the financial system. You are the product. Banks, lenders, credit card companies, they're not in the business of helping you build wealth. Please understand that. What they are in is they're in the business of profiting from your financial confusion. Every missed payment, every misunderstood term and condition, every fee that you didn't see coming, that is their business model. I laugh at this, but I don't think financial literacy isn't absent from our schools by accident. Financially educated people ask harder questions. Remember, the quality of your life is based on the quality of question. And here's the uncomfortable truth. About 44% of adults in this country would be classified as having poor financial literacy. This is not a coincidence. This is a design feature in the system itself. And here's what I know after almost 3 decades playing around in this finance space. The system only works against you while you remain unaware. The moment you understand the rules of the game, you can start playing it differently, can't you? That's why your financial education, starting right now, today, is the most powerful investment that you'll ever make in your lifetime. What gets me is that most people hear the word risk and they think of loss automatically, losing money, losing security. And so what do? They do nothing. But I want to challenge that thinking completely. The most dangerous outcome in your financial life is not taking a risk and losing. I think the most dangerous outcome is nothing changing in your life. What you have to understand is that inflation doesn't stop while you're, standing still. Opportunity doesn't wait. And if you're not moving forward deliberately, you're falling behind by default, aren't you? Quietly, slowly, without even realizing. Think about the body. If you avoid all physical effort to protect yourself from injury, what happens? It's obvious. You become safer, but you also become frail. And then the day comes when life demands something from you and you've got nothing in reserve to give. What you have to understand is that wealth works exactly the same way. Calculated exposure to risks build financial strength. Avoidance, that builds fragility. Your biggest risk is not failing. I believe your biggest risk is never building the capacity to win. That's the framework I want you to carry with you. And don't be mistaken. If you think that information was the answer, well, we'd all be wealthy because we've never had more access to financial knowledge than we do right now. So why do many people still feel stuck? Because I believe the gap is no longer about what you know. It's about what you do with what you know on a consistent basis. Money doesn't reward intelligence. It rewards discipline. It rewards repeatable behavior over time. Most people don't fail because they choose the wrong strategy. They fail because they don't stick to any strategy long enough to actually see the fruits of their labor, to see the results. I've coached people who've spent years preparing to start, waiting for that perfect moment, waiting for that plan, the perfect, coincidence. And because they never started, they never built any momentum. Meanwhile, I've seen others with almost nothing, no perfect system, no deep, expertise, just simple, consistent action. And you know what happens? Over time, the gap in outcomes between the two groups becomes enormous. Stop trying to master money. Start trying to master your behavior around money. Build a routine that you can sustain. Show up consistently, because wealth isn't built by insight, it's built by habit. When I was at school, I worked exceptionally hard because I wasn't the smartest person in the room. I got, average grades. But when I entered the professional world, I assumed money would work the same way. More effort equals more rewards. Money doesn't grow from effort alone. It grows from strategy, it grows from positioning, and above all, from time. It's time in the market is as important as timing the market. Compounding is backloaded. The growth feels invisible at the start, and it almost feels painfully slow. And that's precisely why most people give up too early, right before the momentum begins. Think about a new content creator, for example. They post consistently, don't they? And for months, sometimes even years, almost no one watches. Not many likes, not many followers. But what happens is the work accumulates. Content stacks, audiences compound, and then seemingly overnight, it all accelerates. That is exactly how wealth is built. Slowly, then suddenly. The goal is not to maximize effort. The goal is to maximize your time in the system, in the game. The earlier you start, I promise you, whether it's investing, whether it's property or business, running your own business, the longer compounding has to work in your favor. Time in the market, time in assets, time in the game. That is your edge. What's sad is that we live in a world that celebrates dramatic financial stories. The big trade, the overnight success, the bold move that changes everything. But I've sat across the table from genuinely wealthy people for over 30 years, and I can tell you this, that's not how real life works. Real wealth is invisible while it's being built. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't feel exciting. It looks like someone who spends less than they earn, invests on a consistent schedule, and makes boring, profitable decisions year after year after year. Yes, I'm saying to you, success can feel boring. Over time, watch the difference. Think about a tree. Day to day, it looks like nothing is happening to the tree, but underground, the roots are slowly spreading, aren't they? Strength is being built when no one can see it. If you keep digging up and checking on the progress, you obviously kill the tree. Most people treat their finances in exactly the same way. They interfere with the process because they feel that progress is too slow. What they do is they're chasing excitement. They switch strategies. They start all over again with a new strategy or a new asset class. The highest success rate belongs to the people who can sit still while others are chasing noise. Patience is not necessarily passive. It's the most powerful strategy, I believe, that is available to you. There it is. 5 things the financial system never wanted you to understand. You are a product until you choose not to be. Risk isn't what you think it is. Behavior means more than knowledge, I feel. Time is your greatest asset. And the path to real wealth is far less exciting than you have been told than what you see on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook. The question now is simple. What are you going to do with that? Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. If this resonates with you, please subscribe, because the best investment that you'll ever make is in your own financial education. I'm Hanna, and I'll see you at the top.